Like if I would walk around in the Garden of Eden, with just Eve next to me, maybe not even Eve, just me, Adam, then who would be there to judge me? I would never have uh, thought of judging myself. Nobody would have ever taught me to judge what I was doing. I would no judgment. I'd just go about my day and enjoy as much as I could. No repression anywhere. Therefore, no need to kill unnecessarily, or no need to break free from what I repress in myself through the standard of societal thinking. So then there's just, I don't know judgment. What would it be like to not know judgment, not to know what it is, the very phenomena itself? I think originally, in this sense, we are innocent. And there's no actual, the essence of what I am is never judging myself or its actions.
That's quite a picture you paint. At a time when we don't even know what judgment is, how did it happen?
Yeah. How did it happen? With the thought of another. That's where it originates. Like,
what else would get me? The only thing that gets everybody really is a sense of justice and injustice. That's a huge whopping deal,
right.
Because when you see something that seems like it's totally unjust, and then you hear stories of,
and if you, stories, I mean, like a story or, a sudden compelling energy that totally takes you, or just your everyday life, whatever it might be. Maybe you're very caught up in thinking about things. So whenever there's a story, it's like a chain. And it only seems effective, real, and compelling because it is a chain, because it is a necklace. Only a full necklace makes sense. So the practical approach right there is to stop for one moment and to just cut through that chain by recognizing what is always already here. And if you do that even for a split second, in the very act, in the very midst of your chain working itself out, playing itself out, in that very compelling energy of justice, injustice, you just go like idea after idea, or I need to do this, etc. And you just stop for one moment, and you recognize what is here. You recognize that there is something that's seeing this, that there is a natural presence here. And then again, the story will compellingly come up. But if you do that a couple of times, you break the necklace. And, it only takes one good cut to make the necklace seem useless. And so the story crumbles all by itself. If even for a moment you cut it, you just stop it, and you recognize what always already is. So then it falls apart on its own.
Stories are so interesting, because stories, for some time I've been just saying that what we react to in life, I think always, but, I don't have to say that, is a story. I mean, our interpretation is what we react to. Because, how could this same event create so many different feelings in so many different people? Everyone has their own. And so really the event itself is almost inert. Without an interpretation that goes with it, and that's where all the emotional content is stored, in that interpretation. And so then when you realize that, you realize that it's not so fixed, like, oh, this really did happen, and we all felt bad. You kind of realize that, an image came up. I had an interpretation based on my interpretation of yesterday. It's slightly different, It's a chain called conditioning.